Okay, we want to find the exact value of sine 22.5. When you see exact value, you do not use your calculator. Well, if I can't use my calculator, I must be able to use a unit circle value for sine, and 22.5 is definitely not one. So that leads me to think about the half angle formula. If I doubled 22.5, so I multiply it by 2, I get 45 degrees. Oh, that is a unit circle value. So I could rewrite sine of 22.5 as the sine of 45 degrees divided in half. And I could use the half angle formula on it, and I do know the sine of 45 exactly. So that's what I want to do. The half angle formula for sine, typically you put plus minus out in front and then a square root, but we already can determine whether it's the plus or the minus because the angle is 22.5, and that's in quadrant 1 where things are positive. So I'm just going to get rid of the plus minus because it's positive, so we don't need to write it. The formula is 1 minus, sine is minus, okay, and cosine of this 45 degrees, so 45 divided by 2. Now let's go ahead and I think of the unit circle, and at 45, that's right here, we know those are the ones where they have the same values, square root 2 over 2 and square root 2 over 2. And then we know the sine is the y value. So this is going to be 1 minus square root 2 over 2 and then over 2. Now I'm going to simplify this, so I'm going to put this over 1 and then get a common denominator. So that's going to make that the square root of 2 minus square root of 2 over 2. For the top, that's just the top with this common denominator, but then that whole thing is still over 2, and it's underneath the square root, and I'm going to make that over 1 so you can see what I'm doing with it. I'm going to flip it over, invert, and multiply. Okay, so now I would have the square root of 2 minus square root 2 over 4. And that's how I'm going to leave my answer because I needed an exact form, but I simplified it because I didn't want a complex fraction as my answer.